You're listening to The Roots, a podcast from Minnesota AMA District 23 ARMCA. I'm your host, Jackie Reese. Let's dive deeper into what makes our district so great. This podcast was prepared by an independent contractor and may not be the views of the Board of Directors of District 23 ARMCA or any of their sponsors or affiliates. Welcome, everybody, to episode 10 of The Roots. I can't believe we've made it 10 episodes into this podcast. We have a very special episode today with Miss Adelynn Jackson and her parents, Michelle and Coy. How's it going, everybody?
Good.
Doing great. Hey, Jackie.
Good. That's so
Thanks for having
awesome.
us.
Yeah, thank you for joining me. I'm pretty excited for this episode. So Addie, I'll ask you first. When did you start riding dirt bikes? And can you tell us a little about what happened the first time you rode a dirt bike all by yourself?
I was 4 years old and I was in my yard and I was riding around in my yard, and then my dad took me out to a private track and then I started riding there.
And how did it go from just riding and practicing to racing? Now you're quite the racer these days.
Yeah.
So how did it go to racing?
It went
You just wanted
good.
to try it, right?
I just wanted to try it.
Try it out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And what was your first race like?
My first race, I was 5 years old and I was racing at Millville, and it was really muddy and there's a lot of kids and I got last place, but I finished.
That's awesome. Do you want to hear about the first time I raced?
Yeah.
So I got the whole shot in the race, but I didn't know what to do, so I stopped. And so, everyone has challenges the first time that they go racing. So you've stuck with it. How was your season last year, and how's it going this year?
Really good. My season last year, I think I got 6th.
Awesome.
overall.
In hair scrambles.
In hair
In hair
scrambles,
scrambles.
yep. And then you also did some moto stuff too. You raced for at Motokazi in Jordan.
And I finished 3rd place overall.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Border battle.
And you did border battle
So
last
you were
year, yeah.
the champion in border battle.
Uh-huh.
Girl, you are on it. On the gas already. I
How
guess.
about this year? How's this year going?
Yeah, how's this year?
Good.
Where are you sitting so far in points and stuff? It's been kind of fun year, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Where are you sitting in points right now? You know? Between 2nd and 3rd right
Second
now.
and
You're
third.
only a couple points apart. She's been working really hard. She's been working really hard on her hole shots, like you said. She's been working really hard on those. How many hole shots have you had so far this year?
3.
3. How many races have there been?
I've done
Maybe?
6.
6?
That's pretty good. 50% of the hole shots? I'd say that's pretty good. I actually did get to see one of your hole shots. Jack took a video and I got to see that, and you were on the gas hard. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. She's seen it. She got to see one.
So what is your favorite part about racing hair scrambles and racing in the woods?
That we get to go in the woods and race in the woods and go over logs and stuff.
Logs? Isn't that crazy?
Mhm.
Do you think that's challenging, or is it pretty easy for you?
It's kind of challenging.
Yeah. But you'll just get better as you get bigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Different types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you have some bigger wheels to get you over the logs, right? So in your racing the past couple years, tell me about a time when you had to try your hardest and you never ever gave up.
In my first race,
Your first race, what happened?
I got stuck in the mud sometimes, but I just went around it. I got out of it and I went around it, and I wanted to give up sometimes, but I knew I had to keep going.
That's awesome to hear that your first race was challenging, but you've gone up from there.
He was on a PW in the mud. So
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
that's
How
a challenge
fun.
right there.
How fun was that to clean up afterwards?
Yeah, she was on the PW all last year, and then now what bike do you have this year?
A KTM Mini,
How was that for you?
really good.
It's been a good change, a little bit faster, or what else do you like about your new bike?
It's way faster. Suspension is better.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
awesome. Okay, Addie, we were just talking a little bit about your dancing, and you went to Dance Nationals last week and you won them, which is amazing. But that's pretty different from racing motocross and hair scrambles. So which one do you like better, if you do like one better, and how come?
I like them both the same.
You like them the same.
Yeah.
What do you like about each of those sports?
They have different techniques in them in a good way.
How so?
What do you like to do in dance?
Put my toes.
You have routines, right? And you
Uh-huh.
dance to songs,
Uh-huh.
right? And then when you're on your dirt bike, do you do that?
No.
No, what do you do on your dirt bike?
I ride a dirt bike.
Yeah, you race hard, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, okay, so when I was little, I actually used to sing songs when I was riding my dirt bike. So maybe
Yep.
that'll be your new thing.
We actually had a GoPro on her one time, and she was practicing, and we watched the GoPro, and there she was singing songs.
Remember which song that was?
No.
No, I don't remember either.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she didn't tell us about it until we watched the video, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's singing songs while she's riding.
Well, maybe you didn't know, right? Like once you get to be confident in your riding, sometimes you just stop thinking about it, right? So
Yeah.
then the songs come in and the songs come out on the GoPro.
Yep. Get in the zone. Man.
Yeah.
All right, Addie, my last question for you specifically. Why do you think other kids should ride dirt bikes?
Because you get to meet track friends and track families, and you get to race and stuff.
Mhm.
Awesome. You had a lot of fun?
Yeah.
Like a feeling of accomplishment when you finish the race.
Yeah.
It sounds like especially that first one in the mud on your PW. So yeah, Mom and Dad, I guess we'll talk to you a little bit as you've been hanging out with us. What was the decision like to get Addie her first bike?
No, who's answering this
That
one?
was you.
Well, it might have been mostly me, but yeah. So I rode moto back in the day a little bit more so just private tracks and practice days and stuff like that, and didn't really race a whole lot. And then I got out of it for 10 years, and then I got back into it, just trail riding stuff. And then I thought, well, she's at the perfect age for a PW, and picked one up for a really good deal. And I had no idea if she was gonna like it or just say, no, this isn't for me. But she was so good on two wheels. She never had training wheels on her bike, and she had a Strider bike. So that helped with everything. And I knew she could handle the balance side of it. I just didn't know if it was going to be for her or whatever. So I figured, well, okay, we can always sell it. PWs are obviously easily sellable. And she ended up loving it. So yeah, never actually thought she would get into racing. But so that really wasn't the intention when we bought it. So it was just a play ride, and I looked forward to the day that I could ride with her, and then that day eventually came true, and then it kind of spawned into racing together. So now we travel to races, and we both race hair scrambles, and not so much moto, but just mostly hair scrambles, and Addie races the Jordan Supercross, so silver
And the border
and border
battles.
battles.
Yeah.
Yep, border battle series that travels to Wisconsin and Iowa and all over Minnesota. So yeah.
That's awesome. Addie, when are you going to be faster than your dad?
I don't know.
I think you already are, aren't you?
No.
She's
Someday.
trying.
So
Someday I'm sure that will come, and yeah, I'll be accepting of it whenever it happens.
Well,
It'll
you
be
got to
fine.
be proud of her. She's a pretty tenacious little racer already. So
Yeah.
only see it going up from there. How does it feel as parents to watch her learn and grow as a racer?
We love it. It's so much fun. She goes on the track every race and just gives it her all. And she's very competitive, and she gets that a little bit from her dad, a little bit. So,
Mom.
and me a little bit. So no, it's just fun to see her. She just loves it and she just enjoys it. And it's a fun sport. And she, like I said, she loves it. And it's fun to see your kid out there enjoying it and coming off the track and always being happy and knowing what she can do better and what she loved about it. And just racing against some of her friends that she's met at the track has been a lot of fun for her. And trying to lift all those kids up, the new ones on the line, she's always the first one to go up and tell them, good luck, and fist pumping as they come off the track. And so it's just fun all around. It's just been awesome.
That's awesome. And so you get to see her interact with the other kids. How is your experience with the other parents?
It's been a lot of fun. We've met a lot of really cool track families, especially this last year, because this is Addie's, she raced a full year. Last year was her first full year. So it's been a lot of fun. Just looking forward to going to the track, all the time and seeing all the friends and the families. And it's been a lot of fun. We're looking forward to many more years of it to come for sure.
For sure.
Yeah. And district-wide, it seems like, and everyone is so welcoming, because we've raced other races in other states and stuff too, more so just me. And it's just the District 23 is definitely unique in that way. It's quite a bit more, not saying there's other districts that are not welcoming like that, but it seems like D23 has that welcoming feel. Like if you need a part for your bike, or if you're, you crash in off-road, we're miles and miles away from the start, and more times than not, someone crashes, a racer during the race will stop and check on you and see if you're okay, and then move on. But so not just in that aspect, but just everything in general. Just someone needs help, someone's car won't start, the battery's dead, bike's dead, whatever, everyone just jumps in to help. And it's just a big giant family. Yeah. And then meeting friends along the way. She meets friends, and then we meet her friends, the friends' parents, and then turns into a friendship, on and off the track.
Yeah, for sure. And you'll probably have those friends and those parents of friends for the rest of your life, really. Like my best friends all race dirt bikes, and I wouldn't give it up for the world. And that's what keeps people coming back to this sport, is the sense of community and how strong that is, and especially here in Minnesota.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
So share a little bit about a time that you were just extremely proud of her. She talked a little bit about overcoming challenges, but maybe there's the same time or a different time where you were just so proud of Addie and her accomplishments.
Yeah, I think the biggest accomplishment for me that I think of is the border battle, when she finally actually got a championship. And she fought pretty hard for that one, and we traveled, the farthest we ever have during that series. We had to go to the Farm MX in Iowa, and it was kind of a decent drive, not obscenely far away, but not like we were driving to Florida or nothing like that. But we traveled a lot. We spent a lot of time on the road, and she rode D23 and border battle that year, so there was a lot of racing going on, and she was mixing in Jordan Supercross. So it was a lot of traveling, and it was a lot of, there wasn't a lot of real bad times. I would say you had some pretty good races, pretty consistent, but I would say the border battle championship for 2020 was my most proud accomplishment for her.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for me, every race is so different. The terrain is always different. Sometimes it's dusty, sometimes it's muddy. Just seeing her get out there, no matter what the condition is, and she just gives it her all and tries her best, and she never gives up. And that's just our motto, is we want her to go out and have fun. That's the number one thing for her. and just to try to finish her race, no matter where she finishes. And every race she gets better and better, and always wants to do better. So that's been a lot of fun to see that. So
it's funny you bring those 2 points up, because growing up, my dad had 3 rules for me: have fun, try hard, don't give up. And those are lifelong skills, right, that you learn at a very early age racing motorcycles. So it's nice to see that people find similar values in what I found, but I didn't tell you, right? I didn't
right.
didn't tell you that those are my rules. So
Right.
yeah, that's awesome to hear. Addie, your face kind of lit up when your dad mentioned traveling. What was your favorite or least favorite, well, favorite and least favorite parts of traveling all over the Midwest?
My favorite part is we get to see things along the way, and my least favorite part is their long rides.
Sitting in the truck,
Yeah.
hours and hours in the truck.
Yeah.
What
We
are
always
some
special treats and all the fun stuff to get us along the 5-hour drive, right?
what kind of treats are you having?
Suckers and Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah.
Yummy.
So I'm sure like you can relate, Jackie. I mean, going to Oklahoma, Stillwater area or something like that, that's 11, 12 hours on the road. And that's a long time for a little kid to sit still. Plus, her little brother who's 4, he's a boy, and he wants to climb out the truck, every hour and run around. So it makes it a challenge, but these kids, they travel really well. And going down there is a lot more fun than coming back.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's every trip ever, I feel like. All right, mom and dad, to round this podcast out, why do you think other families should get involved with dirt biking at the riding or racing levels?
I guess, I don't know. And I think you can relate, Jackie, that it's such a different sport, compared to stick and ball sports. And it's hard to explain that to people that haven't experienced moto or any kind of form of motorcycle racing. Most people can relate to some kind of stick and ball sport. They did it back in the day. They can watch it on TV, very easily. You can go down to this park, in the local park, and play basketball or play baseball, whatever. And I think it's hard. I know it's somewhat of a hard sport to get into in a way, I guess. You kind of almost got to know someone, or someone else usually draws you into it, like your friend or a school friend or something. You go see a race, and then you're like, well, okay, I'm gonna, parents buy the kid a dirt bike and they ride around the yard, and then it kind of spawns from there. I think everyone's situation is a little bit different. I started late at 14 years old, and I wanted one forever as a younger kid than that. And I never got one. And then I bought one with my own money, and then it kind of went from there. But I had friends that rode and friends that raced, and that's what got me into it. But I guess as far as other parents go, everyone has their own unique story, I think. But I think in a way, a lot of it is the same. I think a lot of it is, once you kind of touch it and the kid feels it and races one time, I think that's it. I think they're hooked.
They're hooked.
And then the parents get hooked too, even if the parents don't ride.
Mhm.
There's plenty of parents that she races with, and the parents don't ride at all.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them have never ridden. I've talked to some parents before, and neither the mom or dad ever rode or raced dirt bikes, and they just somehow, I never got the story on what got their kid into it, but it's super unique. As far as advice, I wouldn't really have any advice. Would you? I mean,
I don't know. I just feel like it's such a family sport. I just, because she dances, and we love the dance family. We really do. But it's just a different feel when you're at the track than, watching them on stage. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain the feeling of it, but I just, like I always say, just go try it. You just, even with Addie, we never thought she'd be racing full like she is now, either. And her little brother that's 4, he rides pretty much full time now too, and he's getting ready to go out racing now too. And it's just fun. It's just a family sport, and it's just start them when they're young. It's just awesome. It's fun, a lot of fun.
So what kind of story do you have, Jackie, for when you got started, to kind of flip the question here?
Yeah, you're going to interview me now.
Yeah.
Very similar thing. My dad's, one of his best friends had a daughter that outgrew her PW50, so he bought it for me a little bit early. I rode with him on the back quite a bit, and the first time he was like, okay, like I was riding by myself. Addie, this is why I asked you this question. I was riding by myself, and he said, okay, go down to the tree in our front yard, turn around and come back. And I was like, yeah, okay, Dad, like I got it, don't worry. But I whiskey throttled up the hill past this tree into my mom's flower bed, and right. And I was like freaking out, like, don't tell mom, because I thought she was gonna not let me race or ride ever again. But I made it past that, and we went to the local motocross track, and the rest is history.
Yep.
So yeah,
Awesome.
the family atmosphere is definitely something very significant about this sport, right? And you don't have to be family. It's not always me and my mom and my dad, right? Like I have a moto family of people that care about me and check in on me, you know, even as an adult, not even as a kid anymore. So
Absolutely.
it's that sense of camaraderie that is deeper than you get with regular sports.
Right.
And like I was saying a little bit earlier, that's what keeps people wanting to come back, right? Like you make one great friend and you're like, wow, I should really come back and do that again because that was really fun. But then I get to see my friend too.
Right.
So
Right.
it's something special that you can only hope to share with other people, right? And hope it continues on forever, which is fantastic. We've seen great growth over the past 2 years in our sport, and hopefully it just keeps going from there.
Yeah, absolutely. It has grown a lot. We've noticed that too over the past couple of years. You know, she's lining up with 19 to 25 bikes, you know, each race, and it's just awesome. It's just awesome to see it growing every year more and more.
In both sides, in moto and off-road, the both sectors of racing, and those two categories have definitely have gotten much bigger the past couple of years, and then hopefully it only continues. And more racers is better than no racers, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And when I was little, the 50 class at a motocross race at Millville would be like 40 kids, like just an astronomical amount of kids. And unfortunately, the recession hit a lot of people really hard. And the first thing that you cut is what you do for fun. So it's great to see finally, 13, 14 years later, finally it took another dramatic event, right, to bring a lot of people into the sport. But it's great to see it growing again and seeing lots of kids, especially joining the sport.
Yeah.
It's been fun, huh?
Yeah.
Yep, it's been a lot of fun.
It's been a fun journey.
Yes. And this podcast has been so fun. So thank you so much, Jackson family, for joining me for episode 10 of The Roots.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Jackie.
No
Have a great night.
problem. Thanks, you too.
Thanks
for joining us. Catch us every other Monday wherever you get your podcasts, as well as on our YouTube page.